Hey you guys, good morning. Well, at least it's morning where I'm at. Right now it's 8 o'clock, which is super early for me. So if I seem a little draggy, it's because I'm only finishing up my first cup of coffee. And please forgive my hair. It's being a little crazy this morning. I put in dry shampoo, I curled it looked all cute. And it's going to be crazy hot. All our highs have been like in the 90s, like across the board this week. And we have storms moving in today. So between humidity and the heat, my hair is just kind of like, nope, I'm going to do my own thing. But anyway, today we are going to do some really quick 5-minute, maybe 10 if you take a while, summer makeup. So I'm seriously just going to jump right in and get started. I'm using the ColourPop Soul Palette. I love this palette. I think it's beautiful. Isn't that pretty? And I'm taking the Morphe M506. Because we're trying to do things quickly, I'm not too concerned about primer, but if your eyelids are oily, of course, grab some primer. I am just popping this into the lightest color, brushing it off. Just popping this right in the crease. Peach is like my go-to I don't have time shade because it works with all my clothes. It works with pretty much every hair color I ever do. So find that shade, whatever it may be, whether it's a neutral brown, whether it's a gray, whatever your like neutral is that really makes your eyes look really pretty, and go with that. For me, that's peach. So I just pop that into the crease on both sides, and now I'm grabbing this shade. I can't remember what the name is. It's either Hotel or B&B, I'm not sure, but this is just a nice medium shimmer, and I'm popping this all over the lid. Now, if you want to add just a bit of extra drama, you can take a flat blender brush like this and go into the brown, since this has a very nice neutral brown, and just drag that on your outer lid, about the outer third to half of your lid, just going along your natural eye line. Don't try to bring it out too far. Honestly, if you use a brush like this, it'll kind of do it for you, which is amazing. Especially if you're super pale or you have really light lashes, this just adds a little bit of definition to the eye area and makes everything pop a bit more. So I'm going to curl my lashes without pinching my eyelids. So how have you guys been? Things are just weird around here because all like the restrictions changing and things like that, but more people are getting sick and just everything's all over the place. I'm using the Revlon Volume Amazing. As for our family, we're just continuing to do what we've done. Of course, my husband is back to work. Thankfully, his new company is incredibly safety conscious, which is amazing. It makes me so happy. So I don't worry because they're super careful. Well, I shouldn't say I don't worry at all, but I worry less. And we still do like a full decontamination when he comes home, but I do not know what it is about this eye. Like, I get mascara on my lid, on this eye, every single time. And I don't have like a wipe or anything, so we're just gonna leave it. Just smudge it in a little bit and no one will notice. I think my eyelid's just fat. Like, I think I have a fat eyelid on that side and it just grabs onto the mascara. I don't know why, it just always has. So I'm going to let that set. And let's move on to our primer, not foundation, primer. Well, I'm trying to do things like looking at like a clock, so I'm like not taking forever or talking too much. I'm like, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do next. Anyway, e.l.f. Poreless Primer Putty. Love this stuff. So good. There, and there. I just work this in. This just helps smooth everything out so nicely. Oh, look how sensitive my skin's being. I've actually had to change up my skincare routine quite a bit because my skin's been super sensitive. It's been flushing like crazy. This is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil in True Buff Beige. If I'm not using a cushion foundation, this is my go-to light coverage with a Real Techniques blending sponge. These little bangs are driving me crazy. I either need to like braid them or something. Also, I really need to do a Sally's order. My roots are out and saying hi and getting really, really long. I actually don't mind it though. I actually like the look of roots with more pastel-y hair. It doesn't look like that on camera, but my hair is a really pastel-y blue now. For some reason, everything comes across stronger on the camera, or at least on the screen I use, everything comes across darker. I'm not too worried about covering up the redness in my skin because most of it will go away on its own when I'm not like actively touching my skin. So now I'm grabbing the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. I've tried ColourPop, I've tried e.l.f. Every other concealer tends to ball up under my eyes like really weirdly. For some reason, Tarte is the only one that doesn't do that, and it doesn't react weird with any of the foundations I use. It works every single time. The key with Shape Tape is to only use a teensy tiny bit unless you're doing like full like camera heavy glam. You do not need to do like a full under your eye. It's just not necessary. Just like that little tiny bit and you're covered and glowy, and it just looks so much better when you don't overdo it. All right, I'm going to move on to my brows. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in Taupe. Mine is a mess. And a little e.l.f. brush that I love. Now, my eyebrows are notoriously finicky, but I think the trick to doing your makeup quickly is having a brow product that you just know will work and you don't have to play with it and mess with it, and it just works well every time. And that's going to be different for different people. Like for me, it's Dip Brow because I have very fine, light, sparse brows that need quite a bit of help to actually, you know, exist. But for some other people, that could be like Glossier Boy Brow. It could be, you know, just a really light, like a clear brow mascara. I need more coffee. I did not sleep well last night at all. I don't know if it was too hot. Even with the air conditioning, like our house is brick, so it holds heat like crazy. So once it gets into the 90s, our air conditioning's like, yeah, I'm trying my best, but this is all I can do. I can't keep up with this. This is just too much. All right, so I kind of slap them on kind of roughly, and then I'll just take the little spoolie, and for me, that's where the majority of the, hey, now this looks good comes from. I avoid spooling out this area in my brows just because that's where there's no hair. And if I do that, then the product will disappear. But I just go through and really fluff out the front. I need to clean this. I clean my spools every week, roughly, because if I don't, then it just kind of spreads product all over my face. So I have to be a little bit careful. All right, eyebrows are done. Now for face today, I haven't been wearing much contour just because my skin is still very, very pale since I've been going out, and all my contours just look too dark on me. So today I'm going with Tarte's Putty for blush because it's kind of a very neutrally blush. It's not too pinky, it's not too peachy. And I'm just taking this right on the middle of my cheeks and actually bringing it up fairly high on my cheekbones, just for something a bit different. When I don't contour, I tend to take my blush up higher and at more of an angle, whereas when I do contour, I tend to keep my blush more flat in the placement. It just kind of affects how your face ends up looking. Just by doing the blush that way, it kind of just pulled everything up a bit. And for, yeah, this is helpful. For highlight, I'm using the Becca Champagne Pop. I went ahead and pulled this out of my drawer because this is a super beautiful highlight. I'm just using Morphe E40. It's too big for my eyes, so I love using this for highlight. Ooh, I love this highlight so much. It ends up going in my drawer because, like, I want to use other products, but then every time I use it, I'm like, it's so pretty. And just a teensy bit just on the tip of my nose. All right, let's see what else is left. I think the only thing left is lips now. This actually went faster than I thought it would. Yes. Okay, so for today, I'm using the Colorwear Lip Fluid from The Sem. It's a Korean company. This is in the shade Coral 1. If you want something similar to this, I just look for a coral gloss, but I only use a tiny bit of this, and I do have some lip sleeping mask from Laneige on my lips already. No, I just like to spread this all over my face, clearly. So I just dot a tiny bit and then take my finger and blend this out. Because it's super bright. Especially with heavier, more pigmented glosses, I find that I like the look a lot better if I take a tiny bit, like teensy bit, and spread it out rather than using, like, going in full heavy with product. All right, so here is the final look. It's really simple. It's really fast. It gives you a glowy look, definitely. If you want this less glowy, go in with the setting powder or a matte setting spray. But I like it glowy, and then I'll touch up if I need to throughout the day. But it's nice and glowy and soft and really pretty, and it gives your eyes some pop. And I kind of like that it's a look that can go more dressy, it can go more casual, it can go sitting in front of your computer working all day like I do. So yeah. Anyway, really fast, really easy, and it's one of those looks that looks pretty in person and pretty on camera, because a lot of the makeup you see on YouTube looks gorgeous on camera, but then when you get up close in person, not so good. Me, I'm the kind of person, I love doing makeup that looks good on camera and looks good in person, because you know, close-ups, because even if you see camera makeup up super close, it always looks that good. So anyway, nice, easy, very fast, very simple, and the majority, okay, like half the products I used are drugstore, half are high-end. So it's like we got really cheap and really expensive. So yeah, but to be honest, this stuff isn't that expensive because it lasts forever. I've had this thing for like 2 years. Like, it just doesn't die. That's why it seems like I'm using the same products over and over again, because I've had the sample of Champagne Pop for probably like 3 years now, and it still is not gone. Like, high-end makeup, especially powders, last for freaking ever. Like, I don't know the magic. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want, you can click the little notification bell thing. Totally up to you, but I find it helpful. I also wanted to say hi to any new subscribers. If I haven't said hi to you yet, hi, hello, I am so happy you are here. And you guys can also keep up with me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, mostly Twitter and Instagram. And all the links for those are down below. Make sure to leave a comment and say hi. I love hearing from you guys. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.